Hi, we're back. We're going to do another craft. This one's going to be really quick. It actually has a history. When I was a child, I went to camp, and at camp we did some Native American crafts, and when I got home I so wanted to do some more that I looked around the house and tried to recreate the craft that I had done at camp. Now this camp was a Native American camp. Back in the time it was called Indian Village. We wouldn't call it that now, maybe Native American Village, but it gave us a chance to live like a Native American, and it was so much fun. And the craft that I'm talking about was underwater basket weaving. And we sat by the pool and we put our feet in the pool and we took all of our reeds that we used to do weaving and we put it into the water till they got soft. And then we made baskets out of it. So I have a couple little basket projects that we can make at home using the things we can find around the house. So this one here is kind of the most similar to what we made, although I used pipe cleaners instead of the reeds that we had, mainly because the pipe cleaners are soft and flexible. These are the only ones I have left. They're not as pretty, but like the reeds, we could bend them. And so what I did to make this basket, I'm actually going to deconstruct it with you to show you how I did it, is I first got my pipe cleaners, and I only have, one, two, three, four, five left, but I think I used 9, and it's really up to you. But here's what I found. In order to do my basket weaving, I need to end up with an odd number. So I'm going to show you how I kind of fix that. So we're just going to use the 5 that I have. I started out by taking my colors and putting them in pairs of 2s. And then I crossed them over like this. And then I would cross the next set over like this. And then I did one more set across the center so that I had them all the way around. Then in order to tie them together, remember I have to have an odd number in order to make my basket weaving to work. So I'll take one and wrap it around all of them, all the way around, and then I'm going to leave this one out to the back. And now I'm going to sort and make these go all the way around so it looks like this. Okay? Then we go out into the garden and we find some leaves. Now in California we have a lot of palm trees, as you can see here. But you can find any kind of leaves or lace or string, anything that gives you enough to basket weave. And then I cut all the leaves down into these strips. Okay? And it doesn't matter, they can be different sizes or similar sizes. And so I just took my scissors and I ran it up my leaf here, as you can see, creating these long reeds here. Now the one in the middle has the vein, and so that one is rather stiff, and so you may choose not to use it. I'm going to do one more. And the truth is you can actually tear them. You don't have to have scissors. See that? Ta-da! So they tear fine. And so after I have my basket set up, I'm going to take my reed, and remember I've got one that's pulled out of the way, and I'm just going to set it down into the middle and go under, over, under, over. Okay, under, over, under, over. And just keep doing that all the way around. Under, over, under, over. And you're going to keep going. Now, when you run out of this one, what you're going to do is you're just going to take another leaf and you're going to set it up next to it. Maybe twist it around a few times, but you're not going to tie it off, and then you're going to continue to go under, over, so that you're weaving them in a continuous stream. Now, here's what I did. So if you look at it real close, you can see that I wove, and then I've got this little bottom part here, right? So what I did, let me deconstruct it so you can see what I did. Once I wove all the way to the top, I had a bunch of pieces sticking straight up, okay? And so I'm going to undo all of the ones that I had. They were sticking straight up, and all I did was trim them off and then fold them down. Now my very last string that I wove, I actually put in another pipe string, pipe washer, whatever you want to call it, up at the top to give me the color, or you don't have to do it. You can use just regular stringing here. But let me kind of deconstruct this just so you can see how I did it. And it's just so simple. And the reason why I show this to you today is that, you know, back in the time, Native Americans, when Kewanee's history, her people, with the Potawatomi Indians, all Native American, they didn't have television. And they had to make everything that they needed to do simple tasks. And so basket weaving was not only a craft or an art, it was something that was necessary. And so here we're just kind of playing along with Kewanee's heritage and making our own baskets. And everybody's basket will be different, but that's what's so fun about it, is to be able to explore and see what was it like back when you had to just find things from around the house and you know, in your backyard, out in the woods. So if you don't have pipe cleaners nearby the house, go outside to your trees and get twigs, long twigs, and those will work just as well in the same way. But here you can see I wove one right it to the top, and that's what gave me that color band across the top. And I just secured it against one of my pipe strings. So you can see how it's around here. Now I'll just grab one of my under over. Can you see that? And then they just keep winding together. Under over. See? Under over. And I can keep this pulling apart, deconstructing it, and you can see where I started off. Under over, and I just wove them in and out together. And you know, in some places I found that I made a mistake. But that's okay, because that's what gives it personality. It's not about being perfect. It's just about exploring and learning something new, and then you have something fun and creative. And you can kind of imagine it and use it. The children can use it with their play. Now, the first time that I did this, I was so proud of myself. I think I was about 6 or 7. And I showed it to my father, and he was so funny. He was so impressed. He bought it for me for about $0.25. And I was like, oh, wow, that was really good. Maybe I should do that again. I can make some more money. So you can see some of the little things that we do for our children when they're young. I mean, they last forever. I'm in my 50s, and to this day, I can still remember it like it was yesterday. And it's just a precious memory that I have between my father and I, as he rewarded me for my creativity. All right, so let's take a look down here. You can see how I started off. It was just a series of pipe strings, and I just wove them under over, and that kind of and it took me, I don't know, maybe about half hour. For children it may take, you know, maybe about maybe half hour, but we could have done it just with pipe strings and pipe cleaners, I guess is what you want to call them, and started weaving them under over. See? Just go under over, and keep going around, and we could make one out of completely pipe cleaners, or we could use string and go under over, or we could use leftover lace and make baskets for Kewanee. All right, so let me show you the next one. This one's really easy. It's made out of a box bottom. This is actually the one that I did when I was young. I drew a circle using a glass just put it on top and drew a circle. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut it out so that you have a circle bottom. Now you're going to need to do 2 of these, and the reason is we want to have a really thick circle bottom, and then we are going to, instead of using pipe cleaners, we're going to use toothpicks. Okay, so we got 2 of these is what we're going to need. And then the project that we're making is this one here, okay? Which is kind of cute. You can put like a little plant in it, or you can just put some of Kewanee's stuff, but these are all kind of weaving projects. And so you would just take your cork, you would take 2 of them. Notice at the bottom I have 2, if you can see that there. We would glue those 2 together so that they are thick enough. And then we take our toothpicks and we just stick them in all the way around. And then take some glue and put little dabs of glue all the way around to try to keep them in there firm. Okay, and so you might want to do that part first, put it aside, and maybe that's the first day that you do, is you make your little bottom. And then afterwards you do exactly the same thing. You cut your leaves, and this time you can notice I used thicker leaves, and this might be a little bit easier for your youngest children and as they're making it, and it's the same thing. You just start it on one end and go under, over, under, over, under, over, and then take one leaf and then back it up together, and then weave them together for a short period of time, and then continue under, over, until you get to the top, and then you just add a little bit of glue all the way around to keep it in place. And then once it dries, you have a Kewanee basket made out of toothpicks, cardboard, and leaves that you found out in the backyard. Again, you could use twigs, you could use anything. So I hope that these few little projects can give you something to continue to play with as we are spending time, family time actually, together and homeschooling and going outside and exploring and creating things that you find around the house is a great way to build the mind. I hope that this gave you some ideas and it was a little bit of fun. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.